Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, we're going to talk about Vanderpump Rules. It's our weekly Vanderpump Rule episode. And, you guys, this episode by far, I think, might be probably the best of the season so far. And we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. But this is season 10, episode 12, the best season thus far. The first scene is Lala going over to Katie's place. It's the day after the party, so they chat a little bit about Katie's new date that she introduced to everyone. They're also eating Chick-fil-A, which I love Chick-fil-A, but they talk about Raquel. So Lala fills Katie in on what happened last night with Raquel, who apologized because at this point in the story, she was kind of under fire on social media for being with Oliver, Garcelle's son. But then the foreshadowing happens. We see foreshadowing throughout this entire episode. But Katie brings up that Sandoval and Raquel were seen dancing alone at 1 in the morning. Both her and Lala think that it's weird. But for the very first time, Katie says, I don't think Sandoval would ever cheat on Ariana. So we're finally getting this thought out in the air. I was like, oh my, like little did she know at this point. So then another scene with a little bit more foreshadowing. The Toms are grabbing a bite and they're talking about things. Schwartz says that he doesn't really feel that much attraction to Raquel. And Sandoval's like, really? And Schwartz says, like, yeah, I feel like she might be into someone else. And Sandoval, like, he just had like a poker face, but oh my. And then Sandoval begins to tell him a little bit about his relationship struggles with Ariana. Sandoval feels like Ariana doesn't like him. Like she makes him feel like he's dumb, boring, annoying. And that's fair, y'all. Like it's fair for him to feel this way. But I do think it's really interesting because I'm pretty sure that at the reunion he probably will try to use this to justify the cheating by saying that they had struggles and whatnot. Next up, James Kennedy is at his apartment with Allie. And what else could they be talking about? Oh, yeah, Raquel, because James seems to be obsessed with her. And then Allie, the clout chaser, brings up the fact again that she saw Sandoval and Raquel at 1 in the morning dancing. But what they make from it is not that he was cheating, but Ariana and Tom maybe have an open relationship, they think. So this is going to be something that is going to appear a little bit more in the episode, but they start to float that idea around based on something that Katie told Allie. We move on to see Katie and Ariana going over to see their location for the sandwich shop. Lisa Vanderpump also goes with them. It's not ready, like by any means, they just found the place, so they're like now going to begin working, like modeling it and doing all that. But Lisa does warn them that time is money. Like, just look at the Toms and look at the things that they're going through. And then Lisa asks for an update on what's going on with the group. And the girls fill her in on Raquel and Oliver. Lisa is shocked and she says that she knows for a fact that he is separated from his wife and that he's actually ready to file for divorce. So maybe the wife was lying. I personally always had doubts about what the wife was saying anyway. And Lisa also says that Raquel didn't do anything wrong. Katie disagrees and starts to call her names and whatnot. Then, y'all, we see James and Lala grabbing some lunch. You guys, the way that James was eyeing Lala up and down, he definitely wants it. So the girlfriend better watch out. And speaking of Allie, Lala says that she really likes her. She apparently has a lot of brains as opposed to Raquel. Really, Lala? Like, what makes Allie more interesting than Raquel? Stop. So James is going to do something at the beach and he's going to invite everyone. The next scene is Sandoval going over to the doctor's office because him and Ariana need to check that everything is okay as far as like sperm cells and all that because they are going to get their eggs to fertilize. Unfortunately, Ariana wasn't able to go with them to the doctor because her grandmother had just passed. So Schwartz went with him. The doctor tells him that everything is well, but his euphology is a little low, whatever that means. And Sandoval calls her and kind of fills her in on what happened. And he ends it by saying, I love you, Dumpling. It's just really hard to watch those scenes. Okay, so we get to a scene that was pretty interesting. So Ali and Scheana go out and have some lunch. So they're hanging out, they're eating, catching up. And Scheana wants to know Ali a little bit more. Raquel, who seems to be in everyone's mouth, yet again appears in a conversation, and Ali yet again says that she saw Raquel and Sandoval dancing at 1 in the morning. So she tells Scheana that some people like Katie and James have alluded that there might be an open relationship. Scheana says that for Katie to say something like that is disgusting. And then she also thinks that it's disgusting for the women in the group to make it seem like Raquel is after the man. And Ali then says to Scheana, would you trust Brock and Raquel dancing together? And Scheana says, I would literally trust them in the same bed. She is sure singing a different tune now, which is what makes me mad. Like, be consistent, but we'll get into that whenever that happens. Next up, it's the get together at the beach that James is having. Everybody is there except Ariana because, of course, she's with her family in Florida. Charlie is also there in the group, and Lala and Katie also bring their new booze. This is the first time that Schwartz meets Katie's new boyfriend. It was the most awkward thing ever. Like, I had secondhand embarrassment watching that. But then we start to get to the good part. So Scheana grabs Sandoval to the side and tells him everything that people have been saying about him and Raquel. They are both livid and are saying things like, wow, their hatred for Raquel is so deep that they have to make up things like these. They're just very upset. Then everybody's sitting in the sand, chatting, and it all seems to go well. But when James is telling people about his new project, Schwartz makes a joke. He says, will this be better than Rachella? If y'all remember, that's what James called the day that he proposed to Raquel. So this makes James so mad. In my opinion, part of the reason why he probably got mad is because he's still not over Raquel. But like I said, James gets so angry that he says, why don't you fix up your screwed up life? And then gets a drink and throws it at Schwartz's face. Dude, who are you? Are you Lisa Rinna? Like, really? A drink throw? And Schwartz, he is so complacent. He just sat there and took it. And all he did was just clean his glasses. Like, come on, dude, defend yourself. But he did tell James that if he ever does that again, he's going to put him in a headlock. Allie gets up because she's been putting up with all these embarrassing shenanigans. I think he might need some anger management because who acts like that over a little joke? Like, he goes from 0 to 100. Everyone is telling James that he's wrong, and Lala tells Sandoval, who Sandoval is one of the ones saying that he's wrong. So Lala's like, you're forgetting that those two were acting a fool at Scheana's wedding. And Sandoval is like, yo, if me and Ariana broke up, I would tell her that she can kiss whoever she wants because we're not together. And Lala's like, well, that's not surprising because you were screwing Ariana while you were with Kristen. And Sandoval says, well, don't forget that Kristen was screwing James when she was with me. So this just shows how this show has always been messy. But anyway, James then goes over to shake Schwartz's hand to apologize. What in the bipolar is this? Anyway, Lala and Katie leave because they're not really feeling the vibes. So they go to a bar and they text Christina to go meet them at the bar. But Christina brings the whole group. So they're all there, they're all sitting around, and Schwartz says hi to Katie. And Katie, in old Katie fashion, is like very angry and says, I already said hi to you. Like, leave me alone. Stop. And Schwartz is a little upset by that. And he says to Sandoval, who's next to him, I am so happy I'm not with her. I don't miss her at all. So then Schwartz gets up and goes to talk to James for a little bit. And then Lala joins in and she begins to amp up Schwartz and say that he's wrong for the things that he's been doing. But to be honest, she's still really mad about Schwartz hanging out with Randall after the breakup. So it gets ugly. Schwartz gets really upset, so he goes off on her and leaves, but she followed him with the speed of a locomotive and he tells her that he doesn't care what she thinks and that she's a bootleg housewife. And she says, "How dare you talk about me like this? I work hard. I support my daughter. I'm a great mother." Bombastic side eye. No one was talking about your parenting skills, Lala. And she took pretty low blows because she was saying things like, "You're a 40-year-old with an unopened bar. You need to reevaluate your life." Come on now. So then the group is now sitting, and Scheana stirs that pot. So she brings up Raquel and Oliver and asks Lala what she thinks, and Lala's like, "Well, now that we know what happened, Raquel wasn't wrong at all." So that's okay for them to hear that. But then Raquel tells Katie that she doesn't appreciate that just because she kissed someone, Katie is going around calling her a WHORE. And Katie starts to kind of explain and says, "Well, you need to explain to me." And Sandoval cuts her off and says, "Oh, so now we need to give you explanations." And she just says, "You know what? Just shut the f up." And then he's like, "No." And by the way, Ariana is not really happy with the things that you've been saying and have been insinuating. So then that's where he reveals what he's been hearing, that there might be an open relationship. So then Katie calls Allie over so that she can say that she was the one who saw them at 1 in the morning dancing. And it just became mass chaos. But you guys, when I tell you the way that Sandoval was like defending himself and Raquel, and like the way that he was going up against Katie, like you could hear it in his voice. It was kind of like quavering, like y'all know when Candy Burrs gets mad, her voice starts to like shake because like you're so mad that you kind of like want to cry, not because you're sad, but because you're mad. That was exactly what it was giving for him. And he was saying things like low key that Schwartz is happier now that he's not with her because she's so bitter and so ugly. And she says that that's what Sandoval always resorts to saying when she fights with him. And that was the end of the episode, you guys. This episode for me, because it was so good, so much things were happening, it went by so fast. I really really enjoyed it. And next episode, I'm sorry, is looks like it's going to be even more, I don't know how to say it, more explosive, not explosive, but next episode, by the promo, people are definitely now opening their eyes. And Ken, Lisa's husband, personally saw Raquel staying over at Tom's apartment while Ariana wasn't there. So we're finally going to start seeing this story unfold, which I am so excited. This is going to be so good. We're getting close to it. But you guys, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Do you agree that it was really good? And what are your thoughts about all these people? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.